What's good, people? Want to say good morning to everybody. Peace and power to the people that might watch this live and the people that might catch this on the playback. Once again, I always appreciate y'all giving me a time out y'all day, even a minute. I appreciate it. If possible, if it so moves you, give me a thumbs up. If it so moves you, share my stuff. I would really appreciate that still. Even if you don't like what I got to say, you know what I mean? You can give me a thumbs down. As long as you give me a view and hear what I have to say. Yes, Charles D. Blessed. JS. Peace, peace. Yeah, man. So we start off first, of course, Mr. Tyson Fury, a man who I call the most inconsistent man in boxing, probably in sport, the most inconsistent person in boxing, has had his say on Anthony Joshua and what Anthony Joshua has had to say. And I find Tyson Fury to be an interesting character. Here is a man who, since coming back from his ski trip, his 3-year journey into the snow-capped Alps, comes back to boxing and has not given British fans anything to cheer about in terms of local fights. He's given them some shit fights in the UK and then took his ass to America for his big fights, right? Tyson Fury has apparently these days capitalized on the racist and negative backlash that Anthony Joshua has gotten. But first off, let me put the link out. Right. So he's apparently capitalized on the racist and negative backlash that some people in the UK have tried to heap on Anthony Joshua. And he's now trying to cloak himself in that mini groundswell that's going on. So he's now trying to cloak himself in the British white pride movement. I'm offended that Anthony Joshua would advocate for people to support black business, support business in his community. And the people who are offended are now trying to, he's trying to glom on to that. Yes, Brother Shah, what's going on? What I mean by that is, if you realize over the last few days, he's come out and been very vocal on his Twitter about protecting the Winston Churchill statue. This also was a bit of a contention because Winston Churchill in Britain might be seen as somebody who is great, but for much more people around the world, Winston Churchill was an absolute monster. White Brits would like you to think that Winston Churchill was some great savior for the world because he stopped Nazis. The problem is you had people who were throwing up Nazi salutes next to the Churchill statue to protect the Churchill statue. So for other people, Winston Churchill was equivalent to a Nazi. So he's trying to cloak himself in that sort of sensibility about support me, because look at me, I'm a British man, I'm big, I'm white, support me. I'm the better man for you to support. What up, black? Support me because I support Winston Churchill. So Winston Churchill has become the icon for Britain first and never apologize for who British people are. I'm not asking British people to apologize for who they are. What I am asking you to do is tell the truth about your history and let's not be dishonest at all in all our conversations. So Tyson Fury has now come out and he gave his opinion on Anthony Joshua's comments, and I'm going to take you to the video now. Of course, y'all understand that I like showing y'all what people had to say. Here you go.
Have been either taken out of context or people found themselves offended Recently, Anthony Joshua found him in that very hot seat, and it's made people feel some type of way. Did you see the video? And if so, did you feel offended?
I saw the video. What it is, what it is. I'm not one of those people who jump on bandwagons and try and jump on it. Like, I'm not one of those people who just something's trending and jump in on it.
Right.
I'm not a sheep. I don't follow the crowd. I sit away from the crowd. I'm a standalone wolf, standalone lion. So I don't just jump on something because, oh, it's in fashion to talk about that person or give that person shit because everybody else is. You know, or might get some social media likes if I post a certain video. But listen, everyone does what they got to do. I'm sure AJ's got his reasons why he said what he said. And his concern is none of my business what he said. That's his own opinions, and everyone to their own opinions. It's one of those things. I'm sure everyone's got their own opinions on every single thing. No one agrees on certain different things at the same time. So whatever his reasons were, he's done it, and it's in the past, so it's moved on. I'm sure he's apologised if he's offended anybody. Oh, he actually didn't, did he? He actually said, if you didn't like what I said, go fuck yourself. So yeah, no apology necessary. But let's just say, I'm not pushing knives in or kicking anybody when they're down, but if it would have been me who said it, don't shop in any black-owned stores or any Asian-owned stores or anything, or don't buy from their businesses, then I'd have been crucified like Jesus Christ. I'd just say that, but good job it wasn't me, and it never would be me because, to me, colour doesn't exist. I've got the most diverse team in boxing. So yeah, I've suffered racism all my life. 32 years old in August, come from a travelling background, gypsies, hated race of people. It's the only race that's sort of acceptable to be racism towards these days. It's acceptable racism. Even the TV companies in this country are allowed to be racist towards travellers. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm not a person who gives a damn about what colour somebody is or what background from or whatever. Because to me, everyone's the same. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. But listen, it's none of my concern or none of my authority or of opinion on what other people say. So I'm not really interested in what he says, to be fair. Sure, he's got his reasons. That's it.
So that was Tyson Fury. That was Tyson Fury talking shit as usual. A bunch of fucking nonsense by Tyson Fury. Exactly, Abs. What the fuck is Tyson Fury talking about? You see, this is why I say he's inconsistent and hypocritical. He starts off by saying, it's not my business. You know, he said what he said. He has his reason for saying what he said. I'm going to stay out of that. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. And then he can't help himself, contradicts that, and jumps right in and saying, oh, well, if it was me had said that, I would have been crucified like Jesus Christ. If I had said don't shop at any black stores or Asian stores, with Anthony Joshua never said, by the way. You know, if I had said that, you know, I would have been crucified like Jesus Christ and all this other bullshit. I've suffered racism because I come from travel, and it's the only people that it's acceptable to be racist against. Let's chop that up for a second. First off, let me say one more time. Tyson Fury is in Britain. He is a white man. Tyson Fury has experienced discrimination, not racism. You understand me? Travelers are not a different race to white Brits. They're all white people. And I find it interesting and a bit disappointing that people seemingly are trying to cry racism because they want to glom on to real issues that black people go through. Tyson Fury does not experience racism. There's no black power structure in the UK that can keep down a traveler or whatever. That would be racism. He experiences discrimination at the hands of other white people. That's a very important difference. I also don't trust anybody who comes to me with the bullshit of, I don't see color. I don't see color. Of course you do. Of course you do. And it's about time people stop lying. Of course you see color. That don't mean you act in negative ways to people of a different color. But don't lie to the people because you want to portray this this utopian type of mentality. I think Tyson Fury is an absolute fool. He's trying to cloak himself in this groundswell, this mini groundswell that's going against Anthony Joshua at the moment for a little bit of clout. He's trying to appeal to the people that are sensitive and the people that are uneducated who are trying to attack. I saw one person say Anthony Joshua should never be allowed to carry the British flag for, as a boxer, whatever. Tyson Fury hasn't carried a British flag for a long time. He's walked out in a lot of different flags on his trunks and all this shit. He says he's Irish. You understand? And Anthony Joshua is a proud Nigerian as far as I understand. But this is what I mean. You see, the interesting thing is about Tyson Fury pandering to these people is that maybe he should say, you know what, we need to take care of traveler communities. We need to uplift traveler communities. I wouldn't be mad at Tyson Fury if he said that. You're supposed to want to uplift your people, want to, support businesses, amongst your people. So is Tyson Fury going to sit here and tell me Anthony Joshua is wrong for that? I think I already did a video on that about hypocrisy and that Anthony Joshua is not wrong in anything he said. Anything he said. Tyson Fury is trying to get clout. He's enjoying the opportunity to maybe get some of the wishy-washy fans, the wishy-washy fans who said they supported Anthony Joshua. It's just, these people all of a sudden now Anthony Joshua is trying to whatever, but they were not fans of Anthony Joshua. They were fans of Joshua who used to go in there, not say anything, fight, come back out, and just smile. But when Anthony Joshua shows a different side of him, a more thoughtful side, a side that speaks to the economic well-being of his people, those people jump ship. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to shift that dead weight. You got to shift that parasitic feeling. What's up, Unbiased? You in the house, man. Boxing fans have gotten weird. It's like, exactly. It's very strange. Samuel Shaw, I'm saying, bro. I don't trust nobody who tells me that shit. You don't see color. Of course you see color. You stupid? Are you stupid? That don't mean you treat people bad because of different color. Of course you see color. That's why Tyson Fury said he has a diverse team. How do you know your team is diverse? Because it's a bunch of people of a different color. What the fuck is Tyson talking about, man? Real facts, Charles D. Anybody who wants to get on, you can get on. Anybody who wants to get on, they can get on. Anybody. What I'm saying is Tyson Fury is trying to get some fans on the cheap. But trust me, in a couple of days or a couple of weeks, when Tyson Fury says something they don't like, all of a sudden he's going to be a dirty traveler again. All of a sudden he's going to be a dirty gypsy. Somebody commented on that same video and said, Tyson, don't forget how the media dragged you a few years back for stuff you said. What up, Shizbid? Tyson Fury should know better than this. But again, he's trying to gain fans on the cheap. This is a man, mind you, who has done absolutely nothing for local British boxing. All his big fights have been in America. And he said as much that he's going to continue his career in America. He signed a contract that's going to keep him in America. But somehow Anthony Joshua is the one all of a sudden who is an embarrassment to British boxing. A man who has brought British boxing back from almost a complete dead stop. Anthony Joshua is the reason why British boxing is where it is today. Anthony Joshua. And there's nobody who can deny that. Exactly. They didn't say nothing wrong. Nothing. I don't have to be a big fan of Deontay or to appreciate the sentiment in what he said. This is a time when people need to show themselves. Speak up. The closet racists did come out the woodwork. I agree. So as I was saying, Anthony Joshua is the reason why British boxing is where it is. There you go, Ahabs. Tyson Fury said he's not going to fight in the UK. So a man could take himself completely out of the economy. So Tyson Fury hasn't even helped the British economy with his skills. Anthony Joshua, every time he fights, gives a boost to the British economy. Every time he fights. Gives a boost to the British economy. Tyson Fury has fought Deontay Wilder twice in the US so far on pay-per-view. You understand? And the British economy could not benefit in any great measure from Tyson Fury fighting because he's fought like what, at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Every time Anthony Joshua's fought so far, except when he fought Andy Ruiz the first time, the British boxing fans has been able to watch and benefit. So you tell me who has been more important to British boxing as a whole, Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua? But again, as Anbaya said, the closet racist has come out. They've come out in full force. These are the same people who want to big up people like Muhammad Ali. The same people. Tyson Fury and his family always talk about Muhammad Ali. They always talk about him. But Muhammad Ali was one of the most hated men in America. Why? Because he spoke up on behalf of his people. Ali said worse things than that. Now all of a sudden he's lionized because he doesn't fight anymore and he's dead. But Tyson Fury's clan talks about Muhammad Ali. They love Muhammad Ali. But Tyson Fury's here hating on Anthony Joshua. Get the fuck out of here. Can't be proud and black. Look at what that dumb bitch told LeBron, shut up and dribble, but Drew Brees said the dumb shit, and exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Charles D. He don't care about whatever. All that shit he talking about the UK and all that. That man ain't fighting in no goddamn UK. But Tyson Fury now is being put up as the ideal for British boxing now. And why is that? He's defending Churchill. He's bashing AJ. And let's face it, he's a white man. That's real talk. It's going to be a sad day if Anthony Joshua knocks the shit out of Tyson Fury. It's going to be a sad day. What's interesting, though, is that Tyson Fury didn't want to turn the Deontay Wilder thing into a race thing, but he's already, whether directly or indirectly, turning his Anthony Joshua fight into a race. Trust me, if they fight, this is going to turn into the good Brit Tyson Fury versus that loudmouth black guy who's racist to white people in the UK, Anthony Joshua. Look, Tyson Fury is turning this into a race thing. Watch. In terms of there you go, Ahabs. Of course. There you go. There you go. I want to play something for y'all. I know nobody here is into cricket, but I want to play something about it's an experience that West Indian people had in the UK in the 60s. I want to play it for y'all quickly. Just give me a second, please. I'll play it for y'all.
to me than anybody else, because I believe that we struggled more in England.
Hold on, I'll play it for you. It's from a documentary called Fire in Babylon. You was hit with a cricket bat. Charles D, what were you doing to get hit with a cricket bat? But anyway, this is from a documentary called Fire in Babylon, right? It's a documentary about the early days of West Indies cricket. It features people like Viv Richards. Y'all don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, there's an interesting piece talking about some of the early experiences of black people in England. And I want to play it for y'all. You know, it's probably going to get my channel snatched down, but that's okay. You know, if y'all hear it, that's all that counts for me. That's cool. I'm fine. So let me share my screen. Here we go.
Than anywhere else in the world.
As usual, in the
battleship than to do with a test match. When hearing that, you know how serious it is.
Beating England was more satisfying to me than anybody else, because I believe that we struggled more in England than anywhere else in the world.
as usual, in those times, my family had moved to England in the hope of a better life.
A pathetic sight. Already their coming has caused a national controversy. What will they find in the land they regard as an El Dorado?
At 14, having to leave the Caribbean was very difficult. Arriving in England, thrust into an environment that you know nothing about, being confronted with a variety of things.
Well, of course, there are far too many immigrants in this country.
We do not have sufficient houses, jobs, and schools for our own people, let alone immigrants.
And unless something's done about this quick, that prejudice is going to be sheer bloody hatred.
There was a vacancy for a flat, and on the stairs they were saying all applicants accepted, no Irish or black.
During the early 70s, I didn't have an understanding of what racism was all about. I had no experience whatsoever. It was called a WOG. I said, what the hell is that?
When guys got angry, the things that you would hear, you black this, you black that.
You know, at times you felt, well, you know, I think I would like to be back in the Caribbean rather than be here. My anger came out in the way I played. I felt that to forcefully.
So that was just a little piece of that. Sorry. So there you go. So hope y'all saw and heard that little piece. That was from Fire in Babylon. It's actually a very good documentary. You know, even if you don't play cricket, you don't know nothing about cricket. It's an important documentary to watch. So what they basically expressed was that how a black, like you saw Andy Roberts first saying, for him beating England was more important than anything else because black people struggle more in England than anywhere else. You know, you saw the other gentleman, I forgot his name right now. He said he was called a WOG. You're black this, you're black that. Viv Richards said you call a black this, you're black that. And Tyson Fury should know better because Viv Richards said, the bald head guy said, there would be a flat for rent, and it would be marked no Irish and no blacks. You understand? So all of this, and they're talking about in the 60s. You saw that black and white, the black and white film reel with the ship coming in. That was in the 60s. I talked about this, the Windrush generation. That was them. That was them. That was time, not 60s. That was before that, 50s maybe. All them times. So what we're trying to say is, what Anthony Joshua is talking about doesn't just come out of nowhere. This comes from a history. It comes from a history. So Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is talking out his ass Tyson Fury is trying to gain some fans on the cheap. You know what I'm saying? He's liking the opportunity that he can score some points on Anthony Joshua. But I tell you one thing, it's a sad, sad, sad day. It's gonna be a sad day if Anthony Joshua beats the dog shit out of Tyson Fury when they fight. It's gonna be a sad day. That's all for me on that topic. My next topic is Dillian Whyte and his ongoing feud with the WBC has now ended up in legal issues. This comes on the heel of the great Bob Arum, quote unquote great Bob Arum, who said, let me make sure y'all see what he said. Let me share my screen as usual. Y'all know me. Where is it? Let me blow it up. So here you go. They were essentially saying, because Dillian Whyte is saying that, look, man, I want my mandatory shot. I want my opportunity. Mauricio Suleiman has said multiple times that Dillian Whyte needs to get his shot by at least February 20-something, late February, the latest. That's what he says. That's when his mandatory needs to be called. And that's whatever. Here comes Bob Arum. The reaction to a lot of these mandatories, what the WBC did was to make a guy like Canelo franchise champion, to make Lomachenko franchise champion. That allowed Devin Haney to fight for the WBC title and not to bother Lomachenko with a mandatory fight. Particularly, these guys were fighting the top person around. Nobody's asking WBC to make Fury a franchise champion. But if Dillian Whyte pursues this idea of fighting Tyson Fury before he fought Wilder again, and then Joshua, that would be the way I think the WBC would go. The public is not stupid. The public knows who's the champion, particularly now when we've had this period where we haven't had fights. I think we've got to do the right thing. And the right thing is to do the fights that really appeal to the public. But that was Bob Arum effectively saying, if Dillian Whyte pushes the WBC mandatory spot, the WBC, as far as Bob Arum knows, he's going to make Tyson Fury a franchise champion. You see, these are the things that make me keep boxing at an arm's length, because boxing always finds a way to let me down. Always finds a way to let me down. So how does Bob Arum know the WBC might move to make Tyson Fury a franchise champion? The WBC was already instrumental in ensuring Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought twice. The WBC has been shown to be one of the more corrupt organizations. So are you telling me that Bob Arum is a prophet? That him and the WBC have not had a conversation about this? There's something wrong when a sanctioning body is involving itself in matchmaking. That is not your job. This is the same WBC who Wilder fans like to tell me that even though you're #1 contender, that doesn't mean you're mandatory. Absolute foolishness. Is boxing the only sport where you could be a #1 contender and that doesn't automatically make you a mandatory contender? Is that the only combat sport? Because I have not seen this anywhere else. I think Dillian Whyte is right to push this issue. Those comments from Bob Arum are disappointing. It's something that Bob Arum and Top Rank have been involved in with Lomachenko. That's why Devin Haney is getting heat for a situation that he didn't ask for. He asked to fight Lomachenko for the belt. He put himself in a position to fight Lomachenko for the belt. And Bob Arum and these people petition the WBC to get Lomachenko a franchise belt, which you can't lose. You don't have any mandatories for. This is what is spoiling boxing. This is what's spoiling boxing. This is why boxing can't get out of its own way in America, because of shit like this. In my opinion, Dillian Whyte is right to lie up. In my opinion, Dillian Whyte has a case against the WBC, and I just really think it's disappointing to hear. And if Tyson Fury accepts does not fight Dillian Whyte, if he does not fight Dillian Whyte as a mandatory, I will call Tyson Fury. I mean, I've been calling him a scam artist for a long time, but I will now call him an absolute duck. He ducked. He said he will fight Dillian Whyte for the diamond belt and mandatory. Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn said, yes, let's go. Then he changed his mind. You understand? He changed his mind. After he won the belt from Deontay Wilder, he said he would fight Dillian Whyte. Then all of a sudden, he changed his mind. This is why I keep saying Anthony Joshua is cut from a different cloth than Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz in the second fight, beat Andy Ruiz, and immediately had 2 mandatories breathing down his neck. And he said, in no uncertain terms, I'm not giving up no belts. I will fight both mandatories if I had to. So Anthony Joshua had to turn around quick to satisfy his mandatory obligations. But somehow Tyson Fury is being given a pass by some people for planning or apparently being in cahoots to not fulfill his mandatory obligations. You see me? Tyson Fury has 1 mandatory to fulfill. Dillian Whyte, 1. Anthony Joshua has 2. And Joshua said he's ready to fight both of them. What if Anthony Joshua had says, if Kubrat Pulev pushes this thing, man, I'm going to just abdicate the belt and all this other bullshit. Alexander Usyk is saying he's not going to step aside. Yet I'm not hearing Anthony Joshua saying he's not going to abdicate shit. He's not going to give up no belts. But Tyson Fury and his team. So when Tyson Fury is talking about if he had said certain things that Anthony Joshua, imagine Anthony Joshua had said the same thing Tyson Fury had said. What they would have said about Anthony Joshua? What they would have said? Anthony Joshua don't get away with half the shit that this cokehead gets away with. I hear you, Samuel Shaw. I mean, yeah, money's always bigger, but hey, man, I'm not about to support no bullshit, man. Top Rank is fucking up the sport with these franchise belt shit. Canelo already took the first. This is why Bob Arum was talking about how people should leave Canelo alone so he can fight who he wants to fight. See, Bob Arum wants to have champions that he can just use to fight bum fights on his Top Rank shows, fight jobbers on his Top Rank shows. So it's cool if Tyson gets a franchise belt so he can fight Jarrell Miller and all these fucking people at Top Rank. If Dillian Whyte gets the WBC belt like that, in my opinion, Anthony Joshua should fight Dillian Whyte for undisputed. He should not support imaginary belts. Tyson Fury has a thing for imaginary belts. He has an imaginary lineal belt. He has and he's going to get an imaginary franchise belt. 2 belts that don't have mandatories. 2 belts that has no obligations. Anthony Joshua has made a living off of becoming undisputed champion of the world. That's what he set out to do. And in my opinion, if Dillian Whyte is given the WBC belt, Anthony Joshua should fight Dillian Whyte for undisputed, because that would be a fucking middle finger to this whole franchise belt bullshit. You can't win a franchise belt. How do you take a picture like Mike Tyson and Holyfield and Lennox Lewis with all the belts on you? How you take that picture with a franchise belt? This is about symbolism also. And Anthony Joshua is big on symbolism. He understands what it means to have all them belts. Tyson Fury is a fraud, and I don't want to hear much else. Yes, it does, Charles. It needs to go. Exactly, Charles D. Mind you, nobody was even talking about lineal shit with Tyson Fury. They needed to build a Wilder fight as a champion against a champion. So, lineal champ Tyson Fury. Then all of a sudden people jumped on that. When Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, it was unified champ Tyson Fury before he went on his vacation into the snowy peaks. Hey, man. It might be Wilder's fault, but right now Tyson Fury has the belt, and he has a goddamn mandatory to fulfill. And he should not be given a pass from fulfilling his mandatory. Anyway, that's it from me, man. I don't have nothing else to say on this topic. Tyson Fury has shown himself to be a fraudulent type cat. He should mind his business when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Maybe he should go take care of his traveler community with all that money he has and stop trying to pander to racist white Brits. Hey, man, I agree with you, Samuel Shaw, but hey, PBC wants to do their own belts, right? When they going to get their own belts? That's all for me, bro. I want y'all to have a nice day. Stay safe. Black man, black woman. I want y'all to watch y'all back in that savage land called America. That savage land called the UK. Want y'all to be careful. I see that they found 2 black men lynched in America. I want y'all to be careful. Peace and power. Y'all have a nice day. I'm out.